Elijah, the prophet of fire. Scene 1, the judgment of drought. Inside the luxurious palace of Israel, King Ahab and Queen Jezebel hold a grand sacrifice before the idol of Baal. Priests dance in ecstatic frenzy amid rising incense. Splendor and ceremony conceal a deep moral decay. Elijah, a prophet clothed in simple sackcloth, suddenly enters. His gaze burns like a torch, freezing the noise within the magnificent hall. Standing beneath the merciless sun, Elijah faces the furious King Ahab. His voice thunders through the tense air. "As the Lord, the God of Israel lives, before whom I stand, there shall be neither dew nor rain these years, except by my word." Fear ripples through the crowd, faces fill with unease. The weight of his declaration hangs heavy in the air. Scene 2, the brook Cherith and the ravens. The sun scorches the land, rivers shrink, dry earth stretches endlessly. Elijah stands alone beside the brook Cherith, lifting cool water in his hands. A dark shadow crosses the sky. A raven descends, placing bread and meat upon a stone before him. Elijah eats this simple provision, a deep peace settling over him in the wilderness. The relentless sun continues to burn the land. The once flowing brook becomes only a trickle. Watching the last water disappear into cracked soil, Elijah's face reflects quiet submission. He rises, gathers his cloak, and walks steadily toward an unknown horizon. Scene 3, the miracle at Zarephath. On the dusty road outside the gates of Zarephath, Elijah meets a widow. Despair is etched upon her face as she gathers sticks, preparing a final meal for herself and her son before they die. Elijah approaches gently. "Bring me a little water in a vessel that I may drink, and bring me a morsel of bread in your hand." The widow answers in a hoarse voice, "As the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little oil in a jug. And now I am gathering a couple of sticks that I may go in and prepare it for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die." With unwavering faith, Elijah declares, "Do not fear. Go and do as you have said. For thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, the jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be empty, until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth." In her humble home, tears fill the widow's eyes. She has only a little flour and a small amount of oil. This is all that remains for her and her son. She prepares the final meal with heavy hands, torn between disbelief and fragile hope. She looks at Elijah with complicated eyes. Elijah's faithful words are her lighthouse of hope. Elijah's words shine like a beacon. "Until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth, jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be empty." Days turn into months, yet the flour jar remains full, and the oil does not fail. A quiet miracle unfolds, born of faith and divine provision. Scene 4, life from death. But death enters the house. The widow's son falls ill and dies. His life fades beneath dim light. Grief twists into accusation. "What have you against me, O man of God? You have come to me to bring my sin to remembrance and to cause the death of my son." Compassion fills Elijah's eyes. He carries the child to the upper room and prays earnestly. Bowing himself, he cried to the Lord, "O Lord my God, let this child's life come into him again." Again he pleads 3 times. Suddenly, a soft cough. The child's eyes open. Joy bursts forth in the quiet room. The miracle shines upon Elijah's weathered face. Scene 5, the showdown on Mount Carmel. Mount Carmel is crowded with people. Anticipation written on every face. Elijah stands alone at the height, facing the crowd. His eyes are firm and unmoving. 450 prophets of Baal wave swords and shout wildly. Elijah overlooks from above and gives a powerful challenge. The God who answers by fire, he is God. You call upon the name of your God, and I will call upon the name of the Lord. From morning to evening, the prophets of Baal dance wildly beside the altar. They cut themselves with knives and spears. Blood stains their clothes and the barren ground. Their hoarse voices fill the air in desperate cries toward the altar. Yet except for echoes, there is nothing. As the sun sets, long shadows fall, and despair is carved on their faces. Elijah, with a knowing hint of mockery, lets his voice pierce through the noise. Cry aloud, for he is a god. Either he is musing, or he is relieving himself, or he is on a journey, or perhaps he is asleep and must be awakened. At dusk, Elijah repairs the ruined altar. 3 times, he pours water over the sacrifice and the wood until it overflows. He lifts his eyes to the sky. Firmness is written on his face and prays a short, powerful prayer. Suddenly, a blazing fire instantly falls from heaven. Flames consume the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, the dust, even the water in the trench. The people fall face down, crying, "The Lord, He is God! The Lord, He is God!" Scene 6. The whisper, Elijah kneels in prayer. Clouds gather over Carmel. A servant of King Ahab, with weariness on his face, goes up to look toward the sea. At the 7th time he says, "Behold, a little cloud like a man's hand is rising from the sea." Elijah says, "Go up, say to Ahab, prepare your chariot and go down, lest the rain stop you." In a moment, the sky grows dark with wind and clouds, and heavy rain falls, watering the dry earth. And the hand of the Lord is on Elijah. He gathers up his garment and runs through the storm, miraculously overtaking Ahab's chariot and reaching the entrance of Jezreel. Jezebel's anger burns fiercely. She issues a terrible death threat against Elijah. Great fear overwhelms him. He flees into the wilderness of Beersheba in Judah, his figure set against the vast and harsh landscape. Under a solitary broom tree, exhausted and overwhelmed, he prays for death. An angel appears, bringing hope, offering water and cake baked on hot stones. Strengthened by this food, Elijah journeys 40 days and nights to Horeb, the mountain of God. Elijah enters a cave and stays there. The Lord passes by. A great wind tears through the mountains and shatters rocks before Elijah. Fire dances wildly before him, and the earth trembles. But the Lord is not in the wind, nor in the earthquake, nor in the fire. Then a gentle small voice sounds. Elijah covers his face and steps out of the cave, listening carefully. In the tender whisper, his mission is renewed, and his heart reshaped. With new mission and faith, Elijah departs from there and begins another journey toward Damascus. Scene 7. Glory and the passing of the mantle. By the Jordan River at sunset, Elijah walks with Elisha. Suddenly, a chariot of fire appears. A whirlwind of fire draws near and carries Elijah into the sky. He disappears in the light, leaving behind an eternal legend of faith and fire. Elisha is stunned. He falls to the ground, both shocked and overjoyed, crying out, my father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel." He picks up Elijah's fallen cloak. It is more than a garment. It is the mantle of a generation, the fire of an era, and Elisha continues his master Elijah's earthly journey.